There has been a resurgence of discussions within the cryptocurrency community over the status of XRP inside the regulatory environment. More particularly, the topic of whether or not it is now commonly regarded as a currency has been brought up. This disagreement gained momentum as a result of remarks made by Wall Street analyst Linda Jones on a podcast that was released not too long ago. In her remarks, she attempted to establish that the digital asset has been regarded as a money for a considerable amount of time, even prior to the complaint that the SEC filed against Ripple Labs. In order to provide further clarification on this matter, Abdullah Nassif, the host of the Good Morning Crypto podcast, inquired as to whether or not XRP had at long last been recognized as a digital currency. To accomplish this, he used statements made by Jones. In light of the efforts that the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) is making to regulate the token, the primary focus of this talk is on the continuing legal discussions that are taking place about the token and its classification. XRP is classified as a form of virtual currency. Jones brought to light the fact that regulatory actions conducted by the United States government had previously regarded XRP to be a virtual currency as far back as the year 2015, which was the year in question. During the course of its enforcement action against Ripple Labs, the United States Financial Crimes Enforcement Network has, since then, specifically referred to XRP as a virtual currency. During that time period, Ripple was required to pay fines because it had breached the Bank Secrecy Act and had failed to follow basic accounting practices. On the other hand, did not address the subject of whether or not the token should be deemed a security during the course of the discussion. Rather than that, the focus was on ensuring that Ripple and its subsidiary XRP LLC upheld its anti-money laundering responsibilities. This was the primary focus. Despite the fact that XRP was first categorized as a virtual currency, this classification did not, however, provide a definitive answer regarding the manner in which the asset needed to be regulated within the larger financial landscape, notably with regard to securities law. The litigation filed by the SEC and the non-security status were brought forward to the year 2023, at which point the regulatory focus had undergone a significant development. In the case that the SEC filed against Ripple, the SEC attempted to classify XRP as a security. It was said that this represented a substantial shift in the focus of the regulating body. An important ruling for the Bitcoin industry was handed down by Judge Annalisa Torres in July of that year. This decision has the potential to be regarded as a landmark. During the process of selling the digital asset on secondary markets, she came to the conclusion that the asset itself did not qualify as a security. The Securities and Exchange Commission Secretary filed an appeal against this verdict, however. The court did not grant their interlocutory appeal. Despite the current legal fights and the likelihood of ongoing regulatory concerns, Jones raised attention to the fact that the law continues to not influence XRP's status as a non-security. This is the case despite the fact that some of the court battles are still ongoing. To be more specific, she stated that the classification of the token by FINCI in 2015, in conjunction with the ruling of the court in 2023, sets a firm precedent that the token is not a security but rather functions as virtual money at this point in time. Although there is ongoing speculation that the Securities and Exchange Commission's commission would make another attempt to appeal the verdict from 2023 notable legal authorities, such as Ripple's chief legal officer Stuart Alderati. She emphasized in her remarks that the SEC's legal position on XRP is becoming increasingly unimpressive. She also mentioned that the possibility of an appeal to the SEC is becoming increasingly less likely, have expressed their assurance that the legal position of XRP would not be changed going forward. During a recent interview with law professor J.W. Barrett on Crypto Law TV, Alderode made it quite apparent that even if the SEC were to pursue additional appeals, the core decision that XRP is not a security would not change. This was made obvious by Alderode. This information was disclosed to the general public by Alderode. This sentiment was echoed by Jones, who emphasized that it is extremely unlikely that an appeal will result in a change to the classification of the digital asset that is already in place. But for the reason that there is a growing body of data and past legal opinions that support the token's position as a non-security, she believes that the chances of the Securities and Exchange Commission successfully contesting the decision are limited. She believes this because the token is not considered a security. This could have potential repercussions in the future. It would appear that the current regulatory outlook for XRP is favorable to its continued categorization as a virtual currency, particularly in the United States. It is especially true in the financial sector that this is the case. Nevertheless, ongoing discussions regarding the more complete regulation of cryptocurrencies imply that the status of the token can be susceptible to future evaluations, particularly if new legal frameworks are formed. This is especially prevalent in the event that new legal frameworks are developed. The conclusion that was reached in both the FinCEN case and the 2023 SEC lawsuit is that XRP does not fulfill the requirements to be classified as a security. This conclusion provides security from a legal standpoint for the time being. Legally speaking, the position of XRP as a virtual currency has not altered at all, despite the fact that the debate regarding the classification of cryptocurrencies is still going on. It has been reported by XRP News that Ripple Partners Buy Holdings has announced that it will be taking part in Project Agora. Project Agora is a joint endeavor that is funded by the Bank for International Settlements AS 7 key central banks. XRP's community responded to the information regarding the development as a result of speculation over the likelihood of integration or alignment for cross-border payments and a unified ledger project. Is speculation caused the community to react to the information? It has been disclosed by SBI, which is a partner of Ripple, that it is taking part in the buying-led project agency. The business entity made the announcement in a press statement that was distributed on September 19th that SBI Holdings were participating in Project Agora. Ripple's partner engagement in the initiative brings XRP to the forefront of conversations. This is due to the fact that the bank is an essential partner for the adoption of XRP, as well as the XRP and the XRP Edgy Ripple collaboration. Project Agora is a program that is being conducted jointly by the Bank for International Settlements and central banks. The goal of this program is to improve the functionality of international transactions by utilizing tokenization. There are a number of financial institutions that are considered to be central banks. These include the Bank of France, the Bank of Japan, the Bank of Korea, the Bank of Mexico, the Swiss National Bank, the Bank of England, and the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. There are also a number of other financial institutions. The implementation of this initiative is something that we are hoping will allow us to improve the functionality of the financial system while maintaining the two-tiered structure of the financial system, which consists of private bank deposits and money from the central bank. Additionally, we will be able to offer very convenient services for international transactions by using smart contracts and programmability, which will enable us to deliver new solutions that make use of these technologies. In addition to using smart contracts, the program, which is directed by the Bison Swift, makes use of digital tokens that are used to represent assets on a unified ledger. Companies from the private sector such as JP Morgan, Standard Chartered, Sygnum Bank, Visa, MasterCard Citi, and HSBC are just some of the companies that have taken part in the meeting that was organized by the Institute of International Finance. The second has to do with XRP. Despite the fact that XRP and the XRP ledger are not directly addressed in the endeavor to revolutionize cross-border payments through tokenization, and XRPL is where the light shines. It is the consensus of the community that the technology developed by Ripple is compatible with the Agora project. The investigation of the several tokenization alternatives that are accessible on the XRPL Gulliver has been the primary focus of Ripple's activities. For the purpose of incorporating tokenized real-world assets AR into the XRP ledger, the company entered into a cooperation with Archex in the month of June. Furthermore, Ripple's Interledger protocol, which is a system that connects blockchains and central banks, is compatible with the idea of a single ledger. This is because the first ledger is a distributed ledger. There is a potential that Ripple's technology will play a part in the framework, even if it is not directly tied to XRP. This is indicated by the fact that this is the case. Ripple and the BIS, along with other central banks, collaborated on a number of projects, one of which was the establishment of the central bank digital currency by Didi Barajay, the chief executive officer of Ripple. Prior to this, the community of XRP assets had been working together on a number of projects. According to statements made by Brad Garlinghouse, the company is actively working towards gaining acceptance in the traditional finance sector. Over the course of the past 24 hours, the price of XRP has climbed by 2, and it is currently trading at 58 cents.